Hello, guys. You're here with Sean Brooks, the Realtor, aka the real estate guy. And today, what I want to do is I want to discuss how do we calculate um, purchasing a fix and a flip, if it's a good deal or a bad deal. How do we evaluate that? All right. So, in today's example, this house hit the market more recently. Let's see, when did it hit? 2 days ago. All right. So I'm going to show you the reason why I'm picking this particular property. All right, I got to refresh because I had it open for a while so we can see the pictures. What happened? What happened? That's not the property. So it's the next one, previous one. Yeah, it's previous one. All right, so we're going to use this as the example, and then I'm going to show you the spreadsheet that I've used and many other people have probably used also um, to evaluate properties. So as you see, I'm going along. I'm just going based on pictures. All right. So that looks like that's kind of newer. So I don't really have to worry about that. Siding looks pretty decent. Just have to power wash it most likely. Windows, we got a few windows in the door. We don't seem like we had to do anything there. Looks like laminate flooring in here. That looks like original hardwood floors, but we'll probably replace it. Probably hardwood floors underneath this carpet. It's not the best carpet in my opinion. Um, we'll still need to take a tour of the property. It has a pool. With that, that's additional cost. And the color in that pool is not that great. Little drywall, uh, skimming, repaint issue. That's probably a fake fireplace. Hold on. Let's go back here. I can see that this laminate floor is already like buckling right there. Looks like they did some work here, replaced the drywall. So we would have to correct that, get that nice and smooth, skimmed up. Kitchen replacement. They have two dogs. So with that, might have to do a little bit of work. So we'll just use this one as the example. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna all right. So let's minimize this. Some of this I've already filled out. And I just filled it out in advance, but I'll explain it in 1 second. All right. So here's the property address that we're gonna use. We're gonna say this takes 6 months for the project. We're gonna say, let's change this number. We'll change it to 349. I already did the research and did the CMA on the property, so I know what it can be resold for. All right. And then so we're gonna resell it after repair. What this stands for is at the repair value. So we're gonna try to purchase the property since it's gonna be a cash offer at 210,000 with $50,000 rehab budget. Um, Closing costs, we kind of estimate that between 1% and 2% of the purchase price. So it could be a total of 5,000, but we're going to use 3,500 right now. Holding costs is for us holding the property, taxes, electric, sewer, and all that. 2,500. Total project cost would be $266,000. All right. HML, what that stands for is hard money lender. And this is loan to after repair value. So many cases, they could loan between 65 and 70%, maybe 75, but it's 65% of that 266,000. Now, with many hard money lenders, they will ask for interest and some will ask for points. It's just part of the process. The points is for you to sit down, have a meeting with them. It's more or less like, hey, you want to go to dinner? I want to take up some of your time. The meal is costing you whatever amount, you're paying for it. All right. So 2% of this. And then they're asked for the interest rate, 12% over 6 months, which is around 6% total. So it's take the 266 HML points, going to cost you $4,537. Total interest, 1366. Right now, let me show you something. If you change this to, see how that number just jumped up? It jumped up tremendously. 18,000. All right. So we're gonna put it back to 6. Okay. Admin fee is just like any other admin fee, like $1,000 is the admin fee. All right. So your down payment to get into this deal is 39,150. Like, this is if you're not using anybody else's money, right? So if you're not using anybody else's money, then you can take this out. We can take that out, zero that out, right? So let's zero it out. Show you what this looks like. I'll show you what this looks like. All right. So it would cost you, if you were to put up all this money yourself, $266,000, right? Your projected profit will be $83,000. Profit minimum is $34,000. But this is a yes to this deal based on 10% of this particular number. So 34,900 is the minimum at 10%. Now, only in the case with many guys, if you were like us when we started, we didn't have money, no money hardly. So we had to go to hard money lender. 65% ARV, 2 points, 12% interest. All right. So it brings down your projected profit to 64,852. But hey, when you don't have money, you have to pay somebody to come in and help you. Now let's add the admin fee. All right. Now, if you're going to sell this property, right, I'll show you what you're going to have to pay to sell it. And closing cost is 1.5% resale. We use that number. And then let's say we're using 5%. That's the average when we're doing a transaction and such. You still walk away with 41,167. But let's say you don't have the money, the remainder. All right. So you put down the 39 and then the 19 is the fees. You don't have this 58,000. All right. So this is where gap funder comes into play. Gap funders normally come into play and they'll charge interest. So let's say we found a gap funder at 12%. So you're giving them 12% of the deal, right? You would still walk away with 37,669. So this would be a deal. It would be a great way to get into buying a property, right? And being able to buy it, fix it, flip it, and walk away with some cash. You put zero in the game because you borrowed HML money to do the purchase and the repair. And you got money from a gap funder. Gap funders are out there just in case if you don't have the total amount to actually get the deal done. All right. But let's say, let me do a little switch up for you so you understand. This gap funder's interest type is annually, but let's say if they want it straight up. So at straight up, that's a no deal, right? So you got to restructure some things, right? Now the sale price on this property is 239,000. So we came down a little bit for cash, but let's say we came down to 205. Now the deal is a yes. All right. So now the deal is a yes. So can you get into a transaction? Most likely, yes. 329 sale price, $21,000 profit. 334, 25. So as you see, anywhere below that 34 is a no deal. So once you get here, that's what you got to sell it for. Now, if you sold the property for a little bit more, now again, projected, it goes up. So this is how you basically go about the numbers part of a transaction. You want to get these numbers down packed. You want to know your numbers, and you want to be accurate. Now, if you don't have to get a gap funder, let's say you had money, then you would actually make more money. So let's look. You'd have to make $51,000, right? 5%, or if you try to go lower for the commission, you could also do that. Let's say if you had 12% for the gap. Let's say you paid 210. $39,000. Yes. Let's say if you paid 4.8, you would make yourself a little bit more money. So as you can see, working the numbers can actually land you a good deal, get you in and out of transaction, and put out there a good product where a person could actually buy it fairly quickly. If you want to learn more, just reach out to me. I'll be delighted to answer any questions that you may have. I'll be delighted to explain. I would also be delighted if you work with me. I would love to be your realtor down in Delaware. My team works in PA, so we can get stuff done in PA also. Just reach out to me so we can get the process started.